There you go. There you go. Okay, that's the whole hose. You got the whole thing. I think you're good. So Teddy has been helpful probably since he was before 2, I want to say, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Because even before his 2nd birthday, like, he'd see us sweeping and he'd drag the big broom around the house and we were worried he was going to break something. So for his 2nd birthday, his grandma, Andrew's mom, got him a little cleaning set, and it was like a broom and a mop and stuff, and he loved that thing. He got tons of toys, but it was the broom and the mop. And he swept that, like, party place just for an hour at least. And he still enjoys the broom and the mop, but he doesn't quite have the dexterity to use it well. But he's pretty helpful, but Teddy likes to help on his terms. So Teddy wants to help with the things that are the most inconvenient for us to have him help with. Things that, you know, I think that it's tricky because he wants to help, but at the same time you really just want to get things done. And so it's that balancing act of trying to figure out when to let him help Miles. Teddy definitely has a major sense of accomplishment with his work, and I think that that's why we enjoy letting him help. He loves that. He just loves to feel like he's accomplished something, especially like with the plants in the garden, keeping his flowers alive. He really loves that. That's very much become his thing, is watering the plants. And I'm terrible at keeping like plants alive. I've killed pretty much every plant that we've had, but these ones have stayed alive mostly because Teddy reminds us to water them, and then we've sort of like toned down the water hose so he doesn't overwater them. But he's definitely helped us keep the plants alive. He feels good about like getting things done, but sometimes there's like a mess left in the wake of his helping, so it's tough. It's really tough. He's at an age where he really wants to help, and you know, we don't want to discourage that, but we definitely want to sometimes just get things done. Like, you just want to throw a load of laundry in and not have it be this whole 15-20 minute thing of him helping and pushing the buttons, and it's definitely a balancing act. Press that one. 2 more times. 1 more. Ah, no, too many. Okay, 1 more. That's it. Stop. It's up. Okay, press it. And the things that we would love him to help with, like picking up toys, he wants nothing to do with. The picking up the toys. If you ask him to pick up his toys, his immediate response is, myself? Yes, yourself. Please pick up your toys. And what's really funny is he will like complain and drag his feet, and it just becomes this whole big thing to get him to pick up his own toys. But if there's a mess that the baby made, any toys that the baby got out, he's really quick to pick those up. It's the strangest thing. And I don't know why he'd rather pick up the baby's mess than his own. But and I will, you know, I would rather pick up the baby's mess because I feel like it's not fair that he has to pick up his brother's mess, but he's totally happy to pick up his brother's mess. It's just not his own. It's tough. It's about trying to find balance, and so there are times where I just have to tell him that he can't help with something, and Mama just needs to get something done. But tomorrow you can help us with that, and you know, eventually we do have to pay the piper and let him help tomorrow. But sometimes today is just too crazy, and so you've got to.
We also have 5 adults in the house, and we kind of take turns on which one, you know, will help Teddy and be patient with him, because, you know, we all reach a point where we just want to get something done, and sometimes there's, you know, not always an understanding kid, you know, on the other side of that message. So we usually find things for him to do, things that he wants to do, and, you know, there's usually somebody in the house that'll be willing to do it with him.
So this is almost a conscious part of parenting style. Is this something you were exposed to when you were growing up?
When we were little, we used to help. I don't know if it's a cultural thing because my cousins and I were girls, so we were expected to help do things like tidy up, or help clean up. One thing that I didn't do much of growing up was cooking. I really didn't cook much. Once in high school, my mom took off on a walk and was like, dinner's going, just finish it. And I remember being so scared and angry because I was like, wait, I don't know how to cook. That's one thing that Teddy really enjoys doing. Teddy enjoys cooking. Teddy can make a quesadilla almost on his own. He needs a little supervision, but he can flip it. He really enjoys cooking. Sometimes that results in misadventures. I took my eye off him once when he was helping me make potatoes, and the entire bottle of Italian seasoning was poured all over the potatoes. And so, you know, now we have to watch him and be really careful with the spices and keep them out of his reach if you take your eye off him for a second. We just started teaching Miles how to wipe his high chair tray. And occasionally I can get Miles to help like push a laundry basket. Teddy, I think, likes doing laundry mostly because he gets to push the buttons on the machine. But we have to find that balance between the things that Teddy wants to help with, the things that we want Teddy to help with, and you know, when we have the time to do that sort of thing, when we have the time for it. I don't let Teddy do any cooking with like raw meat, and he gets really offended about that, but 3-year-olds have no sense of like germs. And so it's really hard to explain salmonella to a 3-year-old. So it's easier to just say, you know, you don't get to touch raw meat. He's dying to like crack eggs, and I'm like, no, salmonella.
Same thing with the pets. He wants to help, you know, feed the cat, but you know, we don't want to get too close to like the litter box or anything, especially because he's immune compromised. So
it's about balance. So Miles is 1, and now that he's 1 and he's walking and moving around, if you can walk, you can push a laundry basket. If you can push a toy, you can push a laundry basket. If you can throw your food off your high chair tray, then you can help wipe off your high chair tray. But it's very much about, like, it's about meeting them where they are and whatever abilities they have at that moment. So, you know, I also expect when Teddy does things that it's going to look like a 3-year-old did it. So when he tidies up his toys, it looks like a 3-year-old tidied up the toys. And that's okay. I'm okay with imperfection. It's more about, you know, the process. Teddy, gentle with the tree. Remember, you gotta water the dirt. The roots. There we go. Can you show Lily how? Okay, watch out. Every single time he waters, I get wet. This guy, Teddy helped make, actually both of these guys, Teddy helped me make these. I was making crafts for his brother's birthday party, and Teddy really wanted to help. And so he helped me make these 2 little caterpillars. We actually made this one for the birthday party, and we made this one a couple weeks ago when this caterpillar was in the other room where the baby was sleeping, and we didn't want him to go in there and get it. And he was so upset that he couldn't get his caterpillar. So I said, why don't we make a new one? And so he helped make the new one. And he put the, you know, he helped me. It's a hot glue gun, so I didn't let him, you know, touch the hot glue. But he helped me with picking out the fuzz balls, and he made the faces on them. Hi, bud. Oh, so Teddy helps with other things, not just tidying up, but crafty stuff. And, all kinds of things. Most little kids do want to be helpful. Little kids tend to want to help. It's when they get older. So that's one thing that I always try to remember. There might come a day where Teddy doesn't want to help, so let's let him help while he wants to, and maybe if we make it fun. And sometimes we try to make tidying up a game. But it will be interesting to see what happens when he's older and a teenager, to see if he's still helpful. Because even now, like, there are times where he's a sullen teenager and he doesn't want to help. And there are days where he's really helpful. So, I don't know. I think that it'll definitely be interesting. Okay, Teddy, are you ready? Let's put on your gloves.